Hi everybody, this is SAAD. As many of you know, I've been warning about the diversity, inclusion, and equity mindset. The acronym that I like to use is DIE, something that I do discuss extensively in my forthcoming book, The Parasitic Mind. I've been warning people that the DIE czars are coming for everyone. It's not something that is restricted to the humanities. It's not something that's restricted to some of the ideological fields in the social sciences. Where there is any hint of a meritocracy, where there's a hint of true excellence, then the DIE virus, the DIE parasite comes in to destroy everything in its path. Well, I received an email. As you all know, I have become the central global repository of all the lunacy that is going on at universities in the West. And as I've repeatedly said, I receive an endless number of letters from professors, students, parents of students, all of whom are utterly baffled, if not desperate, at what they are facing with the realities on campus. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that every student or every professor faces this, but how many is enough? 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, a million? In any case, I sought permission from the individual in question to share this. Of course, I will not be sharing his or her name or the institution. The person in question, this is a professor, told me that I can identify him or her as follows exactly. A professor in physical sciences at a leading Canadian university. These funds are nothing more than standard operating procedure for the scientific enterprise. This professor, coincidentally, was a lifelong liberal and remains egalitarian despite our current culture of equity. So this is what this professor was willing to share about who he or she is. Now, here what I'm going to do is read for you. This professor applied, this is a professor in the natural sciences, so this is not women's studies and it's not critical race theory and queer theory. Applied for a grant, and one of the ways by which scientific grants at the highest level are now judged is whether you adhere to the principles of DIE. So this is the equity, diversity, and inclusion component of the grant. So I'm going to read it for you verbatim. Comments, : The review panel recognizes aspects of the training/recruitment plan were articulated. However, the application did not include sufficient detail to demonstrate a planned approach promoting participation from a diverse group, taking into account equity and inclusion in recruitment practices, mentorship approaches, and initiatives aimed at ensuring an inclusive research and training environment. While the review panel appreciated the enthusiasm for creating diverse and inclusive teams, the requirement for concrete measures was not met. Given this decision, the application was not reviewed further extensively. However, comments below are included to help highlight application strengths and weaknesses. Sorry, perhaps you might be finding a cure for cancer, but I don't see a transgender person of color who is disabled. I don't see you applying alternate ways of learning through ancestral tribal dance. Therefore, sorry bruh, science has to take a backdrop because you failed on the most important metric, on the DIE metric. To all of you who thought, oh, surely Dr. SAAD must be engaging in hyperbole when he warned us. This is a very serious scientist at a leading Canadian university applying for a major research grant to conduct very serious research in the natural sciences, and he or she was turned down because of DIE. Slowly we all die. Slowly we inch. Cheers, everybody.